Hello. We did it, guys. We made it to the end. Month 31, baby. It's the final 2 Goosebumps books in the original series. And it won't stand up. I tried. It's not the original print, that's the problem. It's a cursed book.
That's not the original print either.
Well, that one is not as cursed.
You know what we're going to do? We're just going to fucking... I'm not reading these books again. I don't give a fuck. That did nothing.
Dude, I'm telling you, let it go. Okay, how are we feeling?
I'm pretty happy it's fucking done.
I told you, let it go.
I'm so happy it's over.
Yeah.
We have our bonus videos, but I'm so fucking happy it's over.
Back up. Monster Blood 4 was about everything that I expected it to be, and we will get to you.
Well, we're going to do that one and we're going to get to that one.
Yes.
I don't think there's much of a pre-ramble. It's the last month. We've been doing this for way too long. Any enjoyment that I had coming into this is gone, and I'm just so glad it's over.
It's the 6th of the month to tell you just how excited we were to film this and get this over with.
Ugh.
Also, we're filming this ahead of something else that will be on the channel. I don't know what's going to end up being uploaded first, but I hope you have fun.
I'd actually assume the other thing would go up first.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Like, you will probably want to watch an edit before I upload it, and I might edit this in the meantime.
Maybe. See how we go. Anyway.
Yeah. So let's talk about I Live in Your Basement. This book is fucked. I don't know if I hate it.
I think I do. I don't like that book.
It's...
It's too similar to other books, but it does things that we've already seen much worse.
Yeah, it's very similar to My Best Friend is Invisible. It's a very frustrating book. I think there is a good book in here, like the idea of the main character questioning his reality after a brain injury. That's fun.
Yeah, but that reminded me a lot of Don't Go to Sleep. Like, with the whole shifting narrative.
But, like, that was always clear.
But it's still, it's like a very similar plot.
Like...
The way it's done is different and worse, but it's similar.
Like, with... You know, we fucking hate those dream cliffhanger endings. That's the whole book.
Yeah, it's a whole book of, was I dreaming? Was I imagining things? What's real? I don't like it. I don't like it because it means that actually nothing that you're reading until the very end of the book fucking mattered.
Yeah. I don't know, it was stupid. It was a bit of a shit post. Just for whatever reason, I don't have a good reason for it. I just didn't hate it.
I think because you read this one when you were a kid. The nostalgia is the X factor that can never quite be.
Perhaps.
But
yeah, this book is stupid. This book is so stupid.
Yeah. Tell us what happens in it, Hadley.
So we are following Marco. His last name is not Polo. Missed opportunity Stein. His mum is very paranoid. She says a lot of bullshit that doesn't really make any sense. There's a scene where they go to a clinic at one point and this girl's got hiccups and she's like, egg whites give you hiccups. So Marco's just trying to live a normal kid life and his mum won't let him do anything fun. He's got this cool friend Jeremy who's like, he wants to do all the things Jeremy does and he sneaks out to play softball with him. And then Gwynny comes along and Gwynny's like this tough athletic kid that kind of bullies Marco a lot. And while they're playing softball, Marco gets hit in the head with the softball bat by Gwynny. He wakes up back in his room. It's in the den. He wakes up in the den and his mum just is like, oh, you got knocked out. You were unconscious. And honestly, she's pretty chill about it.
Yeah, she's like, oh no, the worst possible thing that could happen to my sweet baby boy. This is why I told him to go outside.
No. So when his mum leaves, he gets a phone call. And it's this boy named Keith, and he says that I live in your basement, and I'm calling you to let you know so that you can come down and take care of me. And he tells his mum about it, and she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's a load of shit.
She says there's no phone in this room. There's no phone. And he's like,
oh. There's a lot of stupid things like that. I'm trying to think of the next thing that happens.
Nothing. Nothing. But he goes back to school.
Yeah, he goes to school and he's asked by the teacher, how was your stay in hospital? He's like, What do you mean? I wasn't in hospital. Yeah, you were. What did the doctors check you for? And he's like, oh God, I got hit on the head harder than I thought I did. And then Gwynny starts making fun of him for having a brain injury. Very funny, Gwynny. 10 out of 10 job. And then he goes back home and he's got to write an essay for school. And while he's writing it, all the words disappear and he sees Keith's face come up on the computer screen.
Which I think means we've missed one time that he's actually seen Keith or something. Imagine vaguely spooky stuff has happened at some point.
Yeah, and then you get like a jump scare where like someone grabs him from behind, but it's just Gwynny, and Gwynny was like, oh, I'm just coming over to apologize for what happened. You know, I'm a bit of a bitch, Marco, I'm sorry. And then Marco's like, look at the screen, it's Keith's face. And she's like, bruh, the computer's not even on. Cue the X-Files theme. And like, he's trying to convince his mum, and the mum's eventually like, okay, we need to take you to a doctor. This is getting fucked. So they go to the doctor's office, and the doctor, Dr. Bailey, is like, okay, Marco, there's a very simple solution for this. We're going to remove your brain. And he's like, oh, I don't want that. I don't want that at all,
Bailey's
actually.
like, I've just got to remove your brain, just take a look at it, see if there's anything wrong with it, but I can't really know until I have a look at it. And Mum's just like, yeah, well, if that's what the doctor says, honey, the doctor just wants you to get better.
I'm the best doctor in the state for this. Like, trust me, I've done 1,000 of these. I can remove your brain like that.
Yeah, it's just like, no.
It's like, well, can we do that? Can we talk about this tomorrow? Yeah, we'll book it in for tomorrow. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Brain removal tomorrow. Let's do it. So he goes back home, and Gwynny's like, okay, you keep talking about this kid in the basement. I'll go check out the basement with you. So they go down. They don't find anything, but Gwynny tries to scare him. It's like, Gwynny's like, you want to see something real scary? She opens her mouth real wide, and then her guts turn inside out. She's basically like this.
It's the way it's described in the book is like she opens her mouth and then she doesn't stop opening her mouth until like her lips go past her head, and then like her lungs fall out, and like her eyes fall out or something, and like all of her organs keep falling out. The way it's written in the book, I was just like, that's fucking disgusting. How many chapters are left and you're doing this now? What the fuck?
Anyway, that was the first half of the book. Let's talk about the second half.
He wakes up.
He was in hospital the whole time. It was all a dream. Everything that happened wasn't real. And
not everything since the accident. Everything before the accident, because it was actually Jeremy who hit him on the head and not Gwynny.
Yes.
Like, it's so fucking...
When the mum
I hate this book.
The mum and Gwynny come in, and Gwynny's making fun of him for his brain injuries again, and like he's like, Gwynny, shut the fuck up. And that mum's like, you don't talk to your sister like that. And he's like, ooh. Gwynny is his sister, which means that like his entire life has been a dream, because he's thought his whole life that Gwynny wasn't his sister. I don't know. And then Dr. Bailey comes in, and he looks nothing like the Dr. Bailey from before. And he's like, I've got a new solution for you, kid. Give me your tongue. And he just starts pulling it out like a fucking clown with the handkerchiefs. And then he wakes up again.
I can't do it. And then Dr. Bailey comes in again, and again looks nothing like the previous two Baileys.
And then he's like, oh, I've got a letter for you, kid. And then he opens it, it's like, oh, hey, it's Keith. I'm still living in your basement. Come help me out.
Just wondering when you'll get home to start doing everything for me.
Shut the fuck up. He's dealing with so much crap. He doesn't have time for this random boy in his basement. His whole reality is shaking around him. So he gets home, and he finds Keith on his bed, and he's like, yeah, I live in your basement. You're going to take care of me, okay? And then Marco's like, no. And then he hits him on the head with a paperweight. And then Marco...
Oh my god, I only just remember what happens next.
Then Marco turns into this again. Actually...
No, he turns... Keith turns into... It's like a white goo slime monster.
Yeah, it's slightly different from this. Doesn't feel different enough. But also he's explained that he's been traveling in his dreams. Doesn't really explain why. That's not important for reasons we will get to later. So he's engulfed in the slime, and then his mum comes in. It's like,
no, there's like, I'm sorry, but you have to let everybody know, there's multiple chapters dedicated to this kid suffocating underneath the slime, and he he can barely see because he's covered in this milky slime, and he stumbles down the stairs, and then because they both fell down the stairs, he manages to get a breath in, but then he gets submerged again. So then he runs into the kitchen. He can barely manage like to see that he's in the kitchen, and he keeps slamming himself into the corner of the like the cabinet or whatever. And then he hears this big splat, and the slime splits into two. And he's like, great, I'm going to run and go find Mum. And then as he's leaving the kitchen, both the slimes attach themselves to his fucking feet, so he falls over. And then he's getting suffocated again. And then his mum walks over, and all she does is watch.
He's a very action-oriented narrator. I just like to get to the main bits.
But you have to explain how insane this book is.
It's a little insane.
You can't skip over the slime suffocation. Okay. And the way the mum just watches. Oh
yeah.
My God.
And
then she's like, what are you doing? Get off the floor. And he's like, what? And there's no slime. Like, it sucks.
Did you want to talk about this book?
No. Go.
Anyway, so Marco's like, whatever. And then he walks back upstairs, and yep, Keith's back on the bed, and he's like, fine, fuck it. I give up. Keith, you win. I can't do this shit anymore. I've got a sister that I never knew. You win. You fucked with my head too much. I'm not doing this anymore. So Keith starts turning into a fucking thing, and then Keith wakes up. It turns out, yes, Keith is real. He's a boy in the basement, but it was him that snuck out to play softball and got hit on the head with the bat. And he's dreamed this entire book. And his mum is there with him. He's like, no, we can't talk to the humans upstairs. We can't tell them we live in their basement. And then Keith's like, oh yeah, I forgot. And then he starts turning into a monster again. And then Marco appears at the basement door and is like, what the fuck are you? And Keith's just like, you're dreaming. That's the book.
I don't like it. It's stinky and it's poopy and it's bad.
It's bold, which I can't say for a lot of these books. I liked how insane it was.
That doesn't mean anything though. We get some batshit crazy books that are fun.
Yeah.
This one is just batshit crazy. None of the fun. This ain't no cuckoo clock of doom.
No, I'm not putting it in like the top. It's probably not even in the top half, but I'm just like, I'll take it over fucking Snowman. You're not sure?
No, I'm not. They both suck.
Yeah.
At least what happens in Snowman matters. That's the thing that really pisses me off. Yeah. You could just read the last 2 chapters, and that's the book. That is all of the book that is real and matters. The last 2 fucking chapters.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shit post.
Ugh. I just didn't like it.
I'm not saying I did not like this book. I didn't. I just didn't hate it.
There's no bright side.
It's insane, and that's fine.
It's not a bright side.
It's stupid. I had fun with it. I'm sorry.
Let me check my notes.
Okay. One thing I forgot to mention, this book has a dog in it.
Oh, yeah, doesn't matter. The dog never does anything.
The only thing that I thought to mention of note, and it's completely not important to the book, is it's a part Cocker Spaniel, and they don't know what the other breed is, which is exactly what my dog was. We got him from a pet shop. They told me he was part Cocker Spaniel, part Poodle. If you see photos of him, he's not part Poodle. We just kind of had to guess he was Golden Retriever. So that was the nice personal connection, and maybe that's why I like the book.
That's cheating. This is not fair. I had nothing to connect to.
No, that's not why I'm not saying it's not why I didn't like the book. I got so many qualifiers for this. It's why I didn't hate it. It's not why I didn't hate it.
You sound like the book.
This entire series was a dream.
So thankfully there was no TV adaptation.
I actually would have killed for a TV adaptation of this.
I tell you what, so think about it, that team, they really would have taken that idea and said, what if we did something interesting with it?
Yeah.
So they probably would have done something fun with it, or it would have just been straight adaptation and it would have been terrible. Yeah. It would have been a 2-parter with nothing crazy done. Or it would have been a one-parter that just takes the base idea of it and does something completely different, and that would have been a good episode.
Yeah, and like the effects for the monsters, easy enough. We've seen it. It basically was what looked like when they did the blob that ate everyone.
I doubt they'd have them turning inside out. They'd probably just
No.
have them turn into weird slime monsters.
Yeah.
Just roll with that. Which I guess if there's nothing else to talk about with this one,
Let's talk about the last book of Goosebumps.
brings us to our final book of this whole series, not including the bonus ones. The final Goosebumps book is Monster Blood 4. This is the second best Monster Blood book. The bar is insanely low. Do you agree?
I definitely prefer it to 2. I don't remember enough about 3 to really have an opinion.
Which speaks volumes, in my opinion.
Yeah.
This is the only book that wants to do something different to the first book. It takes half the book to start doing it, and that first half really is just business as fucking usual. But at least the weird blue slug monsters are different enough.
It's just gremlins.
It is just Gremlins. I never even made that connection, but hearing it, yes, this is Gremlins. What if Gremlins really, really, really were blue?
Let me ask you a question, Jared. Did this need to be a Monster Blood book?
Fuck no. Absolutely not. I think Stein realized, well, you can have all different color slime, not just green. I wonder if there's a story there. There is not a story there. There is not a story there. But my God, he dug anyway. He dug and he dug.
I'm glad we're having fun.
Oh my God. Did you like the book?
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's exactly what I expected it to be, so it's hard to be mad.
Are you going to tell me you preferred Basement 2?
No, that's better.
Yeah, there we go. I'm happy now. We're ending in agreement that this is better than the other one.
Can you imagine, like, just we're at the very end and we finally find a book where just, like, cannot agree on?
Oh, God. So, what's his name? Evan is back. This poor kid cannot catch a break.
To be fair, he's putting himself into a lot of these situations.
Yes. Well, I think he needs to fucking cut Andy loose.
We loved Andy at the start.
Which, my very first note is Andy has lost all charm. That is my very first note.
Yep.
Andy, oh my fucking God, has Andy instigated every Monster Blood story?
Oh, except the first one.
The first one, like, doesn't even count. Like, the first one is so different to, like, the others.
Yeah, the other 3, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so many of them. But I feel like whenever Monster Blood pops up, it's always because Andy was like, I thought it'd be funny. Like, what the fuck do you mean it'd be funny? We almost fucking died last time. Yeah, but it was pretty cool, wasn't it? Andy, shut the fuck up. So, Evan's back, Andy is back, and Kermit is back. Was the bully in any of the other books?
Yes.
Conan? He's been in like 2, 3, and 4 now, hasn't he?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember them. I remember the hamster, and I remember Evan being really tall, but I don't remember anyone besides Kermit and Andy.
Well done.
That's it. So Conan, I'm going to assume Conan is back because that sounds familiar enough to me, and I refuse to look back at the other fucking
He was in the
videos.
TV adaptation. How dare you?
Was he?
Yes.
Played by Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah.
Yippee! I gave all my energy to hating that book, and now I'm so flat. Literally the first half of the book is business as usual. Evan gets picked on by Conan. Kermit shows it up, makes it worse, and then fucking Andy is there, and Andy is like, me.
What if we put Monster Blood in his feed?
Yeah, like, hey, wouldn't it be really funny if we put Monster Blood in Conan's food? And everybody's like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's been horrifying the past 3 times we've interacted with it. Andy, shut the fuck up, go back to your room. So Evan's parents are going away for some fucking reason, which means that over the break, Evan is babysitting Kermit. And Evan gets paid $5 an hour every day to do so, which he's going to use to pay for summer camp or something. So it's very important that everything goes well. Nothing goes well because it's Kermit, and Kermit is a mad scientist in a fucking 6-year-old's body. So the first thing that Kermit does is gets Evan in trouble with Conan. And Conan, the whole book is just like, I'm gonna fucking get you, Evan. Kermit will say something, and then the next chapter will be like, I was sitting down and eating lunch, and then my aunt said, Evan, why have you got that black eye? And he says, I don't want to talk about it. And then Kermit goes, he picked a fight with Conan. And then Aunt Dee goes, Evan, I told you not to pick a fight with Conan. You know he's 2 times as big as you are. And he was just like, I'm going to eat my spaghetti now. Shut up, please.
I have this like really hot sauce plot.
She is obsessed with hot sauce. Yes, it pays off. No, it is not good. Evan,
The hot sauce or the payoff?
both. So Evan's aunt and Kermit's mum is fucking obsessed with hot sauce. She puts it in everything. So she cooks spaghetti one night. Evan takes a bite and he describes it as the skin off the roof of his mouth peels off and his lips start to blister. And then Aunt Dee...
He turns inside out.
He turns inside out. And then Aunt Dee goes, is it spicy enough? Did I put enough in? And that's a joke. And it's funny. For sure. I have just described the first half of the book to you. The only other things that really matter is Kermit has been working on his hair formula, which I think was in previous books. It sounded familiar.
He's working on different formulas because the last one was a shrinking formula.
Yeah.
It was meant to be an invisible potion, I think, and then that got paid off. 'cause
Maybe
that's
it
how
is
they
a
shrunk
different
Evan.
one. Yeah, maybe it is a different one that I'm thinking of. But there you go. It's fucking well established that he's always working on some formulas. This one is a hair growing thing. So when they're all trying to plot their revenge on Conan, Kermit's like, oh, I could put my fucking hair growing thing on his hands. He'd look like he has werewolf hands. Wouldn't that be good revenge? I had been meaning to move on to human testing. And Evan's just like, you know what? That's a good prank. And then Andy walks over. Fucking Andy walks over. And she's like, hey guys, look what I found behind a fucking abandoned lab. And she's got a blue can of Monster Blood. And everyone at this point is thinking, wait a minute, Monster Blood was invented by a witch. What do you mean you just found it at the back of a lab?
Well, it's also got an expiry date, and you can also buy another one in Europe somewhere,
Yeah.
so it's fine.
So the answer is forget about the witch. The witch is never coming up ever again. Monster Blood is from now on man-made.
But it's also like a secret government project and also like a commercialized product.
Well, hang on, because we're getting ahead of ourselves now, haven't we? So Andy's like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the blue Monster Blood and we're going to put some of it in Conan's food or something. And Evan has PTSD flashbacks to Vietnam. And he says, no, we're not doing that. We don't know what blue Monster Blood does and we don't want to find out. Andy, shut the fuck up. And then Conan's walking over. And another thing that Kermit has invented is he's got this invisible fence, electric fence around his house.
Why did his mum approve this?
I don't think Mum knows, because Kermit always forgets to turn it on, so Evan will walk into the spot. No, I think it's that he let mice out into his backyard, and he was just like, watch how great this is, the electric fence is gonna get them, and he lets the mice out, and they all run away. And he goes, and Evan's running after them. He's like, why isn't it working? And Kermit goes, oh, I forgot to turn it on. And then Kermit turns it on, and Evan is standing in it, and he gets shocked.
And that happens twice.
That does happen twice. And it happens to Conan as well. Because Conan arrives, and he's like, what are you punks doing, huh? Because Conan lives next door also, by the way. And Andy... I think Andy had already opened the Monster Blood, because she's an idiot. But then I think Kermit grabs it, and Kermit's like, I have this delicious blue candy, and Mr. Conan can't have any of it because he's a big dum-dum. And Conan's like, what? Oh, I want some of the blue candy. And then he starts walking over and he walks into the electric fence. And then Kermit backed away at one point, so the can was upside down. Conan runs away because he got electrocuted, and he's like, there's no way I can save my pride from this. And Evan's like, no, Kermit, you have the can upside down. Is the Monster Blood still in there? No, it is not. So we have one big blue slug on the ground now, and it's really cute, and Andy loves it. And she gives it a name. It's like Squishy or something. It's like, that's my Squishy. I love it. And Evan's like, we've got to push it back into the can, and Andy's like, no, but it's so cute. And then I think it goes up to a tap and it starts drinking, or it goes up to a hose and it starts drinking, and it's inflating. And it's inflating and it's inflating, and everybody's like, that's really weird, it really likes water. And then it pops. And everybody's getting covered in slime, and then there's 2 of them. And then the two of them start drinking more. They're rolling around on the floor and they're absorbing all of the water from like the mildew and shit. And then pop, pop. And now there's 8 of them. Whoa. Or 4 of them and 8 of them. Whoa. It just keeps going. But every time they pop and multiply, they get meaner. And by getting meaner, it's like they start latching onto like your hand and they'll start drinking the water out of your body, which is kind of fucked up. And like, why wouldn't they just be trying to do that the whole time? And it just keeps going and it keeps going. So what they start doing is they start getting all of these garbage bags to start putting all of the slug monsters into. They start to grow teeth, they start growling, and there's just so fucking many of them. And the next, like, decent chunk of the book is just them in the backyard trying to get them all in these trash bags. Because they've got to clean it up before Aunt Dee gets back home, because Evan can't lose any money because he's got to go to summer camp after this. I think Aunt Dee rocks up as Kermit is hiding the bags. Kermit hides them without Evan making sure that Kermit did it right. Not a good start. Not a good start at all.
I did make a note that these protagonists are very incompetent.
Insanely incompetent. Like, it's fucked. And like, this is your 4th time doing this. Come on.
Have a plan.
You get a little bit of leeway because this is the first time it's been different. But it's like, it's not that, just, it multiplies, it doesn't grow. It's the same problem in a different way.
Yeah.
But basically Kermit just like locks it in like the fucking downstairs bathroom.
The colour.
Oh, they have dinner, it's the spicy spaghetti stuff, I don't know. Like they wake up the next morning and Evan's like, where did you put them? And then Kermit's like, oh, I put them in the downstairs bathroom. It's the only place that I could think of. And Evan's like, the bathroom? Where there's the shower head, and there's pipes, and there's a tap. Kermit goes, yeah, but we had them in trash bags. And Evan goes, they have teeth. They can just bite through the bag.
It reminds me of Game of Thrones, where Tyrion hides all the people in the crypt while there's zombies outside resurrecting the dead.
What the fuck? Is that like late season stuff?
That's season 8.
I didn't watch season 8.
That's the showdown with the Nightwalkers.
That's fucking stupid. For a character who's meant to be intelligent.
Yeah, everyone makes fun of that.
I can't believe I'd never heard of that. That is dumb. Anyway, what the fuck? Anyway, Kermit goes, oh wow, yeah, I fucked up. You want to know something else, Evan? That's where I hid my hair growing formula. So they open the door, and it is hit with this wave because they've been multiplying all night. And they're all hairy. There's these hairy blue monster blood slugs with these evil eyes, big lips, and sharp fucking teeth. And they like run out of the house. Andy rocks up for like no reason other than to be involved in the story. And like
Conan kind of has that vibe as well.
Yeah, but at least Conan lives next door.
Yeah.
And at least he's a bully, so he's going to seek them out.
Yeah.
I guess you can say the same because Andy's their friend, but it's like so fucking... She says, hey guys, I'm back. And then we've got to spend a sentence or two describing her entirely new, wacky, zany outfit. The monster blood start chasing them outside, and everybody's like, it's okay, what we'll do is we'll activate the fence, the electric fence, and we'll start knocking them into it, and maybe that, will be good enough to fucking dry them up. So they start doing it, and they whack them over the fence and into Conan's backyard because Kermit forgot to turn on the electricity again. So then Conan's like, what are you guys doing? And so they start running. This is the end of the book now. They start running through the fucking neighborhood, and this horde of monster blood is chasing them. And it's like everybody is stopping in the street and watching. Like police officers stop and watch, and Evan's just like, oh god, there's no hiding it now, everybody, it's just like last year all over again. They go to the school, they're trying to figure out a plan, and then, knocked over, covered underneath just a sea of the monster blood. Evan's like, I can feel all of their sharp teeth getting into me, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this one. Next chapter, the monster blood just get off Evan. Because they've actually evolved so much and gotten so mean that they just start fighting each other. So there's this massive brawl of all of the monster blood until there's only one left, and it's too wounded to survive and it dies. And that's the problem solved. That's how the story resolves
One
itself.
of the better story resolutions for the Monster Blood books.
Yep. So then the police officers walk over and they're like, "You're that fucking giant Evan kid. We're gonna get you for this." And then Andy's like, "For what? For all the blue monsters. What blue monsters?" And then another cop's just like, "Surely we can get them for littering or something." And they're just like, "Oh, we'll get you next time."
Monster Blood 5.
They go back home, and there's a guy in like a diving bell, like some astronaut gear, standing in the driveway. And they're like, "Can we fucking help you?" And he goes, "Yeah, hi. Have you guys seen any Monster Blood around?" Turns out this is the guy that invented the blue Monster Blood, but it was a complete failure. Millions of dollars, 2 years of research wasted, because it was an undersea attack squadron, because it makes sense for these things to be in the water. They'd fucking multiply really quick, but because they get so many, they destroy themselves. It's a complete failure. So he said, "Oh, I should have done better throwing out that very dangerous, very expensive experiment. I shouldn't have just put it in the trash." And then he's like, "I've just got to make sure that we dispose of all of it properly. Is there any left in the can?" No, it's all gone. Don't worry, we're good." And the guy goes, "Great." And he just leaves. He just leaves. So then they pick up the can, because Evan's like, "Andy, we better make sure there's nothing in there." And there's still a little bit left in the can. And they go, "Oh no." And then Conan walks in. Conan goes, "Give me that fucking blue candy." Takes it home. And then Evan's like, no, it's going to happen all over again." And then Andy goes, "But wait. Now that we know it's going to solve itself, what if we just let it happen to Conan?" And Evan goes, "You know what? Yes." Evan's a dummy as well. Final chapter. It's the next day. Everything is fine. They're in the backyard. Conan walks over and he goes, "Hey, dummies, I ate that blue candy you had. It was delicious. Just one small problem." And then another Conan walks out. End.
That was pretty good.
I thought that was probably one of the best cliffhangers we've had, like, for the endings.
You made it sound really fun.
Did I?
Yes.
Great. It was a little fun.
Yeah.
But, you know, it doesn't really get going until the second half.
Yes.
And then there's really not a lot to it.
And the characters are very annoying.
They are so fucking stupid. Evan is the only one who's trying to do the right thing, but, like, no one around him can fucking be on his level. And it's not even that hard. It's just like, don't fuck with Monster Blood.
Well, this was the last Monster Blood book, so hopefully they learned.
Yeah, no. They do more Monster Blood in Horrorland. I don't think there's
Doesn't have Evan in it.
Doesn't have Evan in it.
No.
And it's back to the green Monster
Yeah.
Blood as well. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that really would be the end of the line, because there's nothing in 2000s.
No, I think the only other Monster Blood book we got was Monster Blood for Breakfast in Horrorland.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, there's only so many ideas you can have when you have no ideas. Really?
Yeah.
We can keep doing the same book every fucking time, or, you know...
No Living Dummy is already covering that corner.
Yeah. There's a lot of those fucking books.
Yeah.
My second note was, how many times must you kids learn the same lessons?
There was a quote in the book, Evan didn't want to describe how Conan won a tug of war with his ear. And it's like, well, if he won, shouldn't the ear have been removed?
Yeah. I have no notes that are worth reading out. This book is fine.
There's a scene where, like, Kermit's genuinely being, like, comforting to Evan, and Evan's like, "Shut up, I didn't ask you. You're not exactly Brad Pitt." And I'm just like, what does that mean? What the fuck does that mean?
I think I remember the Brad Pitt comment, and it struck me as really fucking weird, because I was like, how many times has a celebrity been, like, mentioned like that in a Goosebumps book?
And, like, what was Brad Pitt famous for at that point? Like, Interview with a Vampire?
What year was this book?
It's like 1997 or something.
Yeah, I have no clue, because you want to say Fight Club, but Fight Club bombed, and that was 99.
Yeah.
I got no fucking clue. Wasn't Interview with a Vampire like 2001?
I have no idea. I thought it feels like a 90s book to me. I guess I could be wrong. Like, it's got Christian Slater from fucking Heathers.
Yeah, I haven't seen that, so I really shouldn't. Anyway, Monster Blood 4 is fine. No TV adaptation.
Like, fucked if I know how you do that one.
A lot of CGI to look awful. Thank God they didn't do it. Yeah.
In a perfect world, claymation.
Yeah. Weird little stop motion fucking... weird fucking things. Yeah, whatever. Good thing they didn't do it. It would have been shit. It would have been a two-parter as well. It would have been a two-parter.
You're really pessimistic about these things.
Yeah. At least tonight I am.
Yeah. But at the end, let's have some fun.
I don't even have like a fun pitch on a way I would do it either.
Yeah.
Because the way to do it is, like, that book is fine. You could make that into a TV show episode. It'd be fine. You just need money.
Yes.
Fucking kids TV show, fucking in the 90s, they didn't have money. They did not.
Especially Canada.
Yeah. Fuck
Canada got the recession early.
Yeah.
I made that up.
Yeah, good job. You could tell me anything about Canada, I'd be like, oh yeah. How I Met Your Mother says that fucking everything comes to Canada like 10 or 20 years later.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about when I made that joke.
But I was just like, yeah, sure.
You know, there's a beaver on the 50-cent coin.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
And maple syrup on the other side.
Yeah. It's okay. Australia's a fucked country too, Canada. Let's rank the book.
I guess, yeah, that was our last book. So we'll rank them. And
No, I'll miss you. Oh, they're gone. Slip between my hands like grains of sand. I think he's ready to be done.
I am done. I am done.
I think
ranking these without me.
I think ranking's going to be the hard part, Jared.
It won't be that hard.
Okay.
So I say, for I Live in Your Basement, we start from the bottom.
Alright.
So, it's better than Camp Nightmare.
It's good.
It's better than It Came From Beneath the Sink.
He's already struggling.
I don't think it's better than Werewolf of the Fever Slum.
Oh
no! What do you think?
I definitely prefer it to Werewolf of Fever Slum.
Okay.
I prefer it to Chicken. My best friend is invisible. They're basically the same book.
They are basically the same book. I will concede my point and let it go above Chicken.
Okay.
I do not think it is better than My Best Friend is Invisible.
Okay. I think I'm going to let you have this one, and I'll come back to this in a few months and be like, what the fuck was I on?
So, for Monster Blood 4, I think we should start at
Monster Blood 3.
Monster Blood 3. I think that is a fair place to start because we do prefer it to Monster Blood 3.
Yes.
The Blob That Ate Everyone.
It's already tough.
I want to say this is better than The Blob That Ate Everyone.
Yeah.
I also want to say this is better than Werewolf Skin.
Yeah.
Is this better than Vampire Breath?
Yes.
I want to say so. Deep Trouble 2. Which one was Deep Trouble 2?
That was with the big fish. Similar plot, all things considered.
Yes, there's the guy that turns into a fish at the end of the book.
I think I prefer Deep Trouble 2.
I do have a soft spot for the Deep Trouble books. We can put it there.
Alright.
That's it. And you know what? I have Monster Blood 3 is free, but the others are all Roman numerals, so...
Fake fan.
Fake fan.
And Deep Trouble 2's got a number 2.
I guess that's the way it was on the cover.
No?
Well, tough shit.
Oh no, let me dummy, you didn't... You haven't done any of the Roman
I'm
numerals.
going by the book. Look, that one's a Roman numeral.
Okay. I think you're high, sir.
Maybe. What else do we... I'm just double checking that I don't prefer any of the books that are above.
People don't go to sleep very high.
Yeah, that's weird. That feels weird. I want to say that's on you, but...
No, you liked that one more.
Did I?
Yeah.
I was going to say, but I probably just misremember that fucking episode. Okay, yeah, I'm happy with where that's at for now.
We'll work it out next time.
So, let's talk about next time really quick. We're going to take a couple months off. We're going to enjoy our lives. We're going to taste sweet freedom. We're not going to worry about reading Goosebumps books. Whenever we do decide to return, which I would say is no earlier than March, we will reassess our entire ranking and we'll go through it, I want to say, from bottom to top, book by book.
Yes.
I think for fun, we're also going to rank all of the covers.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's going to be the hard one.
That would be very fucking tough. That'll be more fun than ranking the books themselves. And that'll be it for our final rankings. Then we are going to do some bonus videos. Should we just talk about them now? Or?
Yeah, sure.
So we're going to read, for the fuck of it, we're going to read the first 2 books of Goosebumps 2000, Series 2000, which is Cry the Cat and Bride of the Living Dummy.
The main reason we're doing that is they got TV adaptations, and I'm not really done with the TV show yet.
Yeah.
I kind of just want to keep watching the TV show.
Yeah, and that's okay. We can add 2 books for fun.
Yeah.
You know, and
Obviously the Jack Black movies.
we're going to watch those as well. We're going to watch both seasons of the Goosebumps Disney Plus TV show because that will be out by the time we get around to it.
The trailer for season 2 came out and it actually looks good.
Yeah, it's mainly focused on Stay Out of the Basement, which is a good pick. But it's interesting to base the entire season on it while also doing other Goosebumps stuff in the background.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure there was something else happening in that trailer.
Yeah, I don't know.
If that's what's happening, I'm very fucking there. That sounds great to me. Great in a way that I don't think season 1 sounded.
Season 1 looks awful.
Fucking weird.
Yeah.
So that'll be very interesting. We're also going to be reading one other book for the fuck of it. Mostly because I jumped the gun with buying it, but I don't think anybody's going to complain. There is a standalone Goosebumps book that is not part of any series, and it is entirely about the Haunted Mask.
It feels wrong to leave Haunted Mask behind after so long.
I agree. And for a book that stands on its own, is not part of any other series, is almost like an anthology collection, there's like 4 separate parts to that book. We are 100% reading that. It just sounds like a fun book. So we're going to get that as well. I think that's it.
Trilogy, which is the 3 episodes that the TV show made that were completely original stories.
Yep. We'll watch those as well. That'll probably get lumped in with the other movie reaction, TV show reaction stuff.
We're going to figure that out because I don't really know how long we're planning to talk about all of that stuff.
If that's all like one video, like that is like a 2-hour long video.
That's fucked.
Like that is so fucking... Basically, we're not out of the minds yet. As much as we might celebrate this being the last episode, we're not free. We just get to pretend that we are for a little while.
I do have one more surprise. I haven't told Jared this. You're going to hate me. I wrote a Goosebumps book. I'd like you to read it for next video.
I wish that I could say I was surprised. But it just checks out. Just checks out.
I think when I tell you the title, you'll get a little excited.
Okay, go on.
The Girl Who Cried Monster 2.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
He's excited.
Okay.
Oh, I've got to bin him.
What?
See you next time.
Why would you do that?
I had a really good idea, and then I have a problem where I just am addicted to writing, so I had to put it to page.
How many chapters is it?
It's about the same length as My Bus Driver is a Demon. He's just gonna have a little existential crisis while the credit rolls out, guy. You're actually crying.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired. It's grandpa.